Hi, my name is Hailey Panic, and I'm leading this week's episode of the Dorm Room Collective. This week, we're going to be talking about my senior project that I spent the semester creating. So, first of all, I am a BS Theater and BS Dance major here at MSU, and I decided to do my senior projects for both degrees together in one project. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today: the process, the rehearsals, and then the final project itself. I knew early on that I wanted to direct something for my senior project. My last few semesters here, I've spent directing a few different things, and I found a really deep passion for directing. So I knew right off the bat that I wanted to direct something. And I also thought that this was going to be something good that I could put on a website eventually. So I started the process of choosing a script. I had a few things I was looking for. I wanted a small cast due to COVID, something energetic and lively, and something that I thought I could incorporate dance into as well. My goal was to be able to create several small dances that I could spread across the show to help enhance the main themes of the show. I eventually settled on the script, The Most Massive Woman Wins by Madeline George. This was a script I had read before. I originally found it when I was looking for a script for my Directing 2 class last semester. I didn't end up picking it though because it was just a tad bit too long, but I figured that it would be a perfect script for this purpose because it was just long enough to where it was a decent size but not too long, right? And it fit all the boxes I was looking for: a small cast, energetic and lively, all that. It also features two main themes that I'm really passionate about: body image and womanhood. And I thought that I could really put a lot of love into those themes because that's something that's very specific to me. The show itself takes place in a liposuction office, although that's not really what it's about. It's not really about them being in the liposuction office. It's really about all of these women coming together, meeting each other, and telling their own stories of being women and living in their bodies and what they've experienced. And it's a really beautiful show, and that's why I picked it. At the end of the show, all 4 of the main women get to tell their own stories. They have long monologues, and they kind of each reach their own personal climax in the story. They are able to process some of the things that have happened to them as they tell their monologue. It's a really beautiful piece, and I knew instantly that it would be perfect for my project. So after I decided on the script, I knew that the next step would be casting. I didn't really need a technical crew for this show because it was just going to be in the balcony. There wasn't going to be any major set. There weren't really any props, and I could be my own stage manager and lighting designer. I knew that much I could do on my own. So the next step then was to cast it. So I put out some advertisements on the Facebook page and to some group meetings I was in, and this was probably the hardest part of the process altogether because I didn't have a formal audition for the show. I really just tried to reach out to people, and I had a whole lot of people who were very interested in the project but had to drop out for several different reasons, all of which I completely understood, or some people just never got back to me, and it took a while to kind of get the full cast together. So I originally, when I had planned out the whole rehearsal process, I had scheduled 7 weeks of rehearsal. Because of how long it took to put together the whole cast, it ended up getting cut down to 5. So we lost 2 whole weeks of rehearsal, 4 rehearsals total, equaling about 8 hours of rehearsal that we would have had. And that's probably the biggest challenge I had, was cutting it down so far and only having 5 weeks of rehearsal and really having to just plow through stuff and go. Once we got into rehearsals though, it was really great. Everyone was super hardworking. My ideal cast for this show was going to be 4 women to play the 4 main titled roles: Rennie, Sabine, Carly, and Seal, and then 2 women to be dancers and incorporate small dance pieces into the play itself. Because of the trouble that I ended up having with the casting, it ended up going down to just 4 women total. I had 2 people who were solely actors. They were Catherine Bush and Taryn Huffman. And then Bailey Doran, who was both an actor and a dancer. And then Lindsay Wilson, who was just a dancer. And I ended up putting the whole show together with just those 4 people. So things kind of had to change in that respect. And I ended up having to actually cut out some parts of the script just to make it make sense, because instead of the 4 named characters, only 3 of them were being acted. This was not ideal at all. I really wanted to be able to put together the whole thing, but instead I ended up doing more of a scenes from the show approach to it. And that ended up working out pretty well, I think. But ultimately, if I had it my way, I would have liked to have that full cast that I was talking about, with the 4 women to play the named roles and then 2 extra dancers. Ultimately, though, the show ended up being spectacular in my opinion. Everything that had to go away because of the casting issues was able to be kind of brought back through the dance portions, and I tried really hard to bring those cutout portions back into it in that way. And I think that it ended up working out really well in that aspect and kind of took it to a different level almost. So we got into rehearsals. My cast was absolutely fantastic. They worked so hard. The first week we really spent some time just trying to get to know each other, build that ensemble relationship. The first day we kind of talked about what being a woman is to us and body positivity and our own experiences with that. I made sure that everyone could share as much as they wanted to. So if they didn't want to share, they didn't have to. There was absolutely no pressure in that regard, but everyone could just kind of tell their own stories if they wanted to, and we could all kind of just listen and learn from each other and grow closer as a cast in that aspect, because we were going to be talking about these harder issues on body positivity and all that. And then the next rehearsal after that, we spent time just playing games, a lot of games that I've done in like giving voice and stuff like that, to really build that ensemble relationship that we have. I knew that was going to be key to making this a good production. If my cast couldn't relate to each other and have that connection, then we weren't going to be able to really dive deep into the themes of the show, because there would be like a wall between us. And I didn't want there to be a wall between the cast and I. And I think we accomplished that. I had a fantastic time with this cast. I feel like I really got to know them throughout the course of directing this show, and I feel like we had a lot of fun along the way. And I think that's like a key sign of like really getting close as an ensemble, is just feeling like you're having fun with each other. So I think that was a success in that regard. But after those rehearsals, we really just like dove deep into the script. I kind of split the time. One rehearsal every week would be for acting, and the other rehearsal every week would be for dancing. That way people didn't have to come in and wait around while I worked on dancing if they were an actor, and vice versa, so that we could really have dedicated days to each thing. And we did that for the next 2 weeks of rehearsal, put everyone together and started stitching it together, you know. It was a very, very quick rehearsal process, one of the quickest I've had, especially for a show that's almost 40 minutes long. It seemed like it just flew by in the blink of an eye. But that being said, I feel like everything that needed to get done did get done, which is absolutely amazing for the small amount of time that we had. And my actors were fantastic. Literally, the first day off book, we had one call for line, and that was it, which was absolutely amazing. For the clothing and costumes and all that, I told my cast I want you to wear whatever you feel the strongest in, whatever makes you feel like empowered, whatever makes you feel like a strong woman. Because I felt like that was very important to the script. All of the women kind of find their own strength throughout the script, so I wanted them to feel strong while they were on stage and wear an outfit that they felt good in and confident in, so that they could really exude that. And I feel like that's a really personal thing that can help inform their character. Some of them were a little intimidated by me just telling them pick whatever, but all their costumes were so unique and so personal to who they were as just people. And I think that was really, really cool to see what everyone picked out and like how different it was from like the other characters, and just kind of showing that difference in women in general, which is so awesome. The dancing itself, I choreographed because I really wanted to, I haven't gotten to choreograph a whole lot since I've been here at MSU, and I really wanted to be able to choreograph something for myself. And so I took that chance, obviously. The dancing specifically was between Bailey and Lindsay, like I mentioned previously, and they had a very interesting relationship throughout the dances. There's 4 main dance sections in the play itself, and they kind of play off of each other in all of those different sections. Lindsay is really the main character that I focused on with the dancing, and she has this very like fluid role within the dancing. She's almost like an aggressor of sorts in a way. She embodies kind of like the negative thoughts and that the characters may be having, and embodies sort of like that monster in our head that is telling us all the time, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, and society as well saying you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And she kind of expresses that throughout many of the dances. And then that last dance in the piece is actually her embodiment of the character Seal's monologue. Seal's monologue in the show is probably the darkest out of all the monologues. It involves ideas of self-harm, and eventually at the end of that monologue, she sets herself on fire, essentially, because she hates being in the skin she's in so much that she has no other thing to do but set herself on fire. And I ended up cutting that because we didn't have the character of Seal to actually play that role, but I wanted to embody that through the dancing that Lindsay did, and I feel like I was able to accomplish that. I tied in many of the themes throughout the monologue into the dancing itself, picking at skin, feeling free when she lit herself on fire, but also the darkness of it and how it almost felt like something looming over her. And those are all things I try to tie into that dance, and I feel like I was able to accomplish that, at least from my standpoint. So I was really happy with that last dance. I feel like it's probably my favorite in the whole piece. So, yeah. Once we got into Tech Week, it was a very stressful week. I had to cue all the lights, and they had just gotten a different light board in the balcony, one that I was not like familiar with. So I was very stressed trying to figure out the light board all week and get all the cues in and all that, but I was able to. And God bless Taryn, one of my actresses. She knew someone who could come and help us film. His name's Jacob Snow. He's a film student, and he was absolutely amazing. He was like, yeah, I'll come help you, no problem. And he showed up, filmed it all, got it to me very, very quickly. So very, very grateful for him. I do not know what we would have done without him. And then my roommate Hannah was able to come and run the soundboard for me. So overall, just a lot of help from a lot of really, really fantastic people who I'm so grateful for. But they were all able to help me get it all together, which was awesome. Tech Week literally flew by. We had rehearsals Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we filmed that Friday. So it went very quick. And then the day that we did film went so smooth. I could not have been happier. We got to shoot things a couple times, which was awesome. We shot it out of order because one of the people couldn't be there until a little later, which was perfectly fine. It ended up working out perfectly. But so we shot it like the middle first and then the beginning and end later. And we were able to do like each of those sections like multiple times and get like the best shot we could, which was awesome. And yeah, I'm just really, really proud of this project, and I hope that anybody that chooses to watch it on YouTube after this enjoys it as well. If you do, let me know what you think. I'm very excited to get any feedback on it and all that, and yeah, so it's gonna be awesome. I also have a few interviews that I did with the cast members of the show, so we'll cut to those now. I asked them all just a few questions along the lines of, who are you? What is your favorite part of the show? Your favorite part of the process? Favorite part of being a woman? What does body positivity mean to you? And is there anything else you'd like to add? So I'll add those now. But yeah, this is a really, really awesome show, and I'm just so glad that I got to do it, and that the Dorm Room Collective is letting me talk about it, because I feel like I did it, I put it together, now what? So I'm glad I got to have an outlet to talk about it more. So thank you so much, and I'll cut to those interviews. Okay, next we are here with Kathy Bush. Kathy, who are you in this production?
I play Carly, who is a mother. She also struggles with body image. She has some difficulty with her relationship, so she's very much just kind of trying to find her identity through motherhood.
Nice. And what's your favorite part of the show?
Ooh, that's great. So there's a scene at the end, and I won't spoil it, but it's very femme empowering, and it's very like women connecting with each other and building this kind of like wall of feminine energy, and I think it's very powerful.
Awesome. What has been your favorite part of this process?
This has been such a fun cast to work with. It is an all-female team too, which I think works very well with the premise of the show. And also just having discussions about femininity and womanhood and how that relates to our characters and our lives has been really interesting.
Awesome. And then just more on the subject of the show, what is your favorite part about being a woman?
Ooh, fun. I very much love, because I consider myself someone who is a little bit more conventionally feminine. So I love finding the ways in which I can be more of a conventionally feminine woman who is still empowered, and finding that balance and finding ways to be empowered through my femininity instead of regardless of it.
Yeah, awesome. And what does body positivity mean to you?
To me, body positivity means you never feel like you have to change something about your body. It doesn't mean you can't want to change something, or that like you have to love every inch of yourself. I think that's always a really like unrealistic goal. I think it's more about, you don't look in the mirror and think, I have to change something to be beautiful.
Awesome. And did you have anything else you wanted to add?
This is such a great show. I hope everyone is able to watch it. And thank you, Hailey, for letting me be involved in this.
Oh, of course. Thank you. Okay, hello. I'm here with Lindsay Wilson. Lindsay, what do you do, and like what's your role in this show?
So my character in the play is actually two different things. The first time, I'm kind of like the antagonist towards the character Sabine, and I really try to bring out her insecurities and make her feel like she can't get out of them and just feel stuck in that mindset. And then my second part is actually taking the role of, is her name
Seal?
There we go, Seal. And instead of vocalizing the monologue she does and tells her story, I tell it through dance in a different way. So it's like I have a voice through my body instead of my actual voice.
Awesome, thank you. And what's your favorite part of the show?
I think my favorite part is telling the monologue, because what I do best as just myself is speaking through dance, so it kind of worked out really well.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite part of like the creative process in the show?
I really liked how the very first rehearsal we had, we really like just sat down and like got to know each other, and we kind of like each spoke about like our thought towards the play and just opened up about it, which makes it way easier to like become like a family as a cast, so that was really nice. Well, I guess what womanhood means to me is like feeling that it's okay to not like be perfect every day and not feel that pressure, especially because being a woman, that comes with that a lot everywhere you go. And I guess also just knowing and like acknowledging that the way you're made is the way you're made, and that you should accept that and be comfortable in your own skin and just walk around and be confident in that way because you're made the way you are. So loving yourself is amazing.
Awesome. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Thank you so much, Hailey. I've been so glad to be a part of this, and it was amazing. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, hello. We are here with Bailey Doran,
Hello.
one of the people in my show. So could you just tell me what your role in this production is?
Yeah, so I play the role of Sabine. She is a college student. She is a super big feminist. She's big on the perpetuation of women's bodies in media.
Nice. And did you have a favorite part of this show?
My favorite part is the thesis part, where she talks about the history of women's bodies in media. That's something that I'm already really passionate about, so I relate to it a lot.
Nice, nice. And then just more on the subject of the show, what's your favorite part about being a woman?
My favorite part about being a woman is that we have already come so far from where we were 50 years ago, even 20 years ago, and that we continue to push towards equality.
Yeah, awesome. And what does body positivity mean to you?
Body positivity means feeling comfortable in your own skin. So that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
It's a good show. You guys should look into it.
Awesome. Thanks, Bailey. Okay, so I'm here with Taryn Huffman. Taryn, what is your role in this production?
I play Rennie, who is a senior in high school, freshman in college age character, and she is working through some body dysmorphia.
Awesome. What is your favorite part of the show?
Ooh, I honestly think doing live theater again is just the best part. My favorite part of the script is the monologue that I do at the end of the show. I think it's so beautifully written. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, awesome. What has been your favorite part of this process?
Getting to see all of the lovely other humans that are working on the show. Bailey and Lindsay and Kathy and Hailey and now Jacob and Hannah, just amazing. We appreciate them. It's so nice to just be around people.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And then just more on the subject of the show itself. What's your favorite part about being a woman?
I think being a woman means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For me, it's it just is a good form of expression. I'm not a really feminine kind of woman, girl, etc. person. I'm more, I don't know if this describes anything, what I'm doing, but I don't know. I think just allowing each person to be their own selves and be individual and their own human beings, and being uplifting of that for other people, and supporting others in their own journey to find their own femininity or how they're working through it, and just being a good gal pal.
Awesome. And what does body positivity mean to you?
Ooh, body positivity means to me, being comfortable in your own skin, and if you're in a position where you are uncomfortable in your own skin, that you are finding healthy ways to work through it. You're being uplifted and supported by those around you, and that you are finding a way to still love yourself and the body that you've been given, because we love having you on earth and we want you to stay here, and so treat your body nicely.
Awesome. Those are all the interviews. Again, thank you so much to the Dorm Room Collective for having me on. If you want to watch it, my show is going to be in the description of this video. Go ahead and click it. If you could, just don't put it on social media itself. Don't put it on Facebook and be like, hey, watch this. Just only access it through the link in this video. So thank you so much and have a good night.